Hello, my name is Prue, and if you've come to this page, it means you've got a test or an exam coming up and you're trying to find out how to study. Now, there's a lot of information on the web that can be pretty confusing because it seems to go all over the place and never really come down to what actually do I need to do. So I'm going to tell you, there's 3 steps. First step, without a doubt, is to start making some study notes or some summaries. Now, this is where you get all the material that you've been learning. It might be textbooks, it might be handouts, it might be notes that you've made, it might be research you've done. So everything related to those topics. On a separate piece of paper or on your computer, you then start making study notes. This is where you put into point form, you put into your own words, you organise, condense. You're trying to take a lot of information and reduce it and organise it into a brain-friendly set of notes. That means it's chunked down. No great big long paragraphs, but you've really reduced the information to say, what do I need to learn for the exam? And you've organised all the bits that relate together in one place. The other thing that's important is that it's very difficult to try and remember a lot of information when you have to read through 20 chapters of the textbook, all of these notes. So the idea of the study notes is to bring everything together, to reduce it as much as you can, to organise it, and the process of doing that is where you start to see whether or not you understand it. You'll start to make notes and go, oh, I wonder what this really means, or I'm not sure about this. That way then you can look into that a bit further. So the first stage of study is to make your study notes or summaries. Once you've done that, the second stage is to start learning the information. Now, here's the worst way ever to study. You get your notes, you get your books, and you go like this. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. Basically, you read through it, cross your fingers, and hope that it magically jumps into your head. This is not a good way of studying. It takes forever. Much more effective is to test yourself on the material. That means you read a section, take it away, see what you can write down, see what you can say out loud. Then you go back and check. Now, don't stress out when it's to begin with. You don't remember any of it. That's normal. It's all about repetition. Constantly testing yourself over and over and over, highlighting what are the points of information that you don't know yet and what are the ones that you really need to work on. So your second step, once you've made your notes, is to start the process of getting all the information into your head. Now, you can be the best essay writer in the world, but if you've got nothing to write about, then that's going to be a bit of a problem. Once you've done that, the third step is to start practicing the skills of that subject. Usually a great way, as we say, study in the way you'll be tested. If you're going to be writing essays, write essays as practice. If you're going to be doing multiple choice questions, do multiple choice questions as practice. So what you're trying to do is say, okay, I've organised the information, I think it's in my head, but now I'm going to see if I can take it out of my head and actually apply it to different types of questions. I'm going to see if I can actually retrieve it out of my head or not, or whether I need to go back to step 2 and keep learning that material, keep testing myself until I'm pretty sure that I remember it all. So our third step is to get access to as many different types of questions as you can. Wherever you're doing your study from, they may have past exam papers. You may be able to purchase them. You might have access to textbook questions. There might be revision sheets that you can do. You want to get as many different questions as you can that relate to your material, and then that way you can keep practicing the skills. But here's the important thing. You must do the practice under exam conditions. That means don't look at your notes, don't look at the answers, and set yourself a time limit. Otherwise, you'll get a false impression of what you know. You'll be at home and you'll give yourself unlimited time, look at the notes and answers, you'll get in the exam and it'll be a completely different situation. So really important to make sure that you actually do all that practice under exam conditions. So simple, 3 steps. Make your study notes or summaries. Second step is to learn them. Make sure you test yourself, not just read them over and over. Your third step is to do as much practice as possible. The more practice you can do, the better it's going to retain in your head. Feel free to print the information on this page. Hopefully that will help you get started. And if you'd like to sign up for the newsletter, get tips along the way and find out when our new online course is ready to go, we'd love for you to join us with that as well. If you have any questions, you can also email me. Just use the contact details on the page. All the best with your studies and exam, and I hope you go really, really well.